Now we have someone whom I believe is new to Mykonos poetry, Diane Halpin. Diane, am I right about that you haven't come out before? Okay, but she's here, so our second reader this evening.
I'm used to telling stories, and John's poem and story about his mom made me think of my mom, because today would have been, if she was still alive, her 89th birthday. So I'm beginning with a 2-minute real story. It was when June, the first week of June, when I was 3.5 years old and not much more than barely 3 feet tall. We lived in the Cottage of Flowers, which was in Camp Morton, which is 10-minute drive north of Gimli in Manitoba, in the bush. And the Camp Morton had been created by Father Morton in 1923, and that cottage was part of 25 acres of groomed, formal flower beds with native wildflowers, an orchard with native wild berry trees, and they had 10 or 12 people taking care of the grounds. But by the time we were there in the summer of 1954, the prairie grasses and the trees were reclaiming the land. My mom loved asparagus. When Dad was hunting pheasants, he found that wild asparagus, he thought, growing. And what it was the asparagus bed had gone to seed and spread, and now it was in the bush and it was in the tall grasses and hard to find. But he said to me one morning, as he folded his jackknife into his pocket and took a paper bag and began to fold the top of it down, "Are you willing to go hunt asparagus with me to please your mom?" And I said, "Do I have to eat it? It tastes worse than raw grass and dandelion milk." And my mom said, "If you don't eat any, it'll be more for me." Good. And so we went hunting the elusive, retiring asparagus, for the grasses were taller than me, and because I was so close to the ground, I could see the spears. Dad would find the nursery tree. I thought they were fairy trees. They were really taller than my dad, and they had fine, feathery fronds and little red berries on them, and it looked like a misty green cloud out of fairyland. And somewhere within 3 yards of that nursery tree, there would be the spears. And I would swim through the grass with my bag, and I'd say, there, and Dad would take his knife, and he'd cut it, and we'd bag the asparagus. And when we took it home to Mom, it was like I had given her a pot of green gold. And I'd like Mom to know, on her birthday today, that I love asparagus now as much as she did then. I didn't bring my bifocals, so I have a choice. See you and not see the print, or you're going to be a bit of a blur, but I'll see the print. This is a poem. It really did take place in Seaforth, and the rest is pretty well explains itself. And it is called Ambushed. We raced our broomstick horses for blocks across backyards unfettered by fences. My 6.5-year-old legs sprinted behind scarlet peony bushes, dashed through still fashionable Victory Gardens, trotted around the front and then along the side of my house to stand in dappled elm shade, safe home ground for a time out, to watch the neighborhood gang play cowboys and robbers. 5 or 6 of us played that day. One other girl and I were hard-riding cowgirls ready to banish the bad guys. Maybe that's why Parker ambushed me. A thief, come to steal my steed. A shadow loomed behind me. I shied right, looked left, tried to see who. The cap gun muzzle slid into my ear, nuzzled the canal, and Parker pulled the trigger. Kabang! Deafening, searing light flashed, thundered, echoed, ricocheted, slammed inside my head, ruptured my already scarred, ear-raked drum. Did I scream? I must have. Moms poured out of back doors to grab Parker and by his armpits and frog march him home. The gang, dropping broomsticks and cap guns, stared at me open-mouthed. My heart cramped, stopped my breathing, bestowed upon me betrayal and anger. Stupid Parker! Broke the rules on safe ground. Bully boy, you're not a cowboy. In our front yard, Mom held my bad ear against her side, firmly turned my good ear towards Parker's house. From 2 blocks away, his howls of pain and outrage swelled loud and clear as his mum whipped his bare bum outside for all to hear. Even I flinched, wished his screams to end. I wondered, spanked? Backyard? Or front yard? What if he just wanted to get my attention?
Thank you, Diane. Please come back, okay, another time. Thank you. Thanks, it was lovely. You are a oral storyteller, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, telling stories. You can tell by the way you deliver. It's lovely.
Yes.